welcome back to my channel. I'm Tashera. If you're new here, this channel is all about fragrances. In today's video, I'm going to talk about some new releases and some samples that I picked up of fragrances that were released within like the past year. Let's get right into this video. This fragrance, I can't stop reaching for it. I bought a decant, a 10 ml decant. I don't know what's wrong with me, but my decants need to be 5 ml or more. I need multiple wears. I can't do a 2 ml or 1 ml can't do a thing for me, and I don't want a dabber. I need it to spray. And also I feel like a 2 ml decant, I can get it at a store for free, so why would I buy that if I'm going to purchase one 5 ml and up? So those are the sizes I go for when purchasing decants, so I can really get to spend time with the fragrance and really see if I like it or not. And this one I love. This is Louis Vuitton eLVes. So this was not love at first sniff. When this was released, I smelled it in stores and I wasn't really impressed. I gave it a sniff and I was like, no, I don't think so. But I decided to purchase a decant so I can actually spend more time with it. And when I received the decant, it was the same reaction. Not really impressed. Maybe I should have spent my money on something else. But then the fragrance dried down. And that's where the magic happens. Something changed. This is one of those fragrances that you can't just test on a tester strip. You can't just write it off right away. You have to spend time with this. Wait for it to dry down. And I used to be one of those people that would say, I need my fragrance to smell good from beginning to end. I don't want to wait for the dry down. But sometimes, there are instances where I can wait for the dry down. And this is one of those instances because the dry down is, yes. So the notes in this fragrance, let's get into the notes of this fragrance. In the top notes, this has blackcurrant, peach, ginger, and cinnamon. In the middle notes, this has coconut milk, Bulgarian rose, lily of the valley, and violet. And in the base, this has ambroxan and patchouli. Some of those notes are worrisome for me. Patchouli, not my thing. And cinnamon, not my thing. But I don't get the cinnamon at all. What I get from this is blackcurrant, peach. I get a lot of rose. And I do get that patchouli. But it somehow works. I don't know. But this has parts of a fragrance that I used to own. So I used to own Louis Vuitton Attrap Revs, and I tested that fragrance at least 3 times before I received it. I added it to my Christmas list. I received it as a gift. And when I received it, I wore it a couple of times, but I just didn't like the way it smelled on my skin. I couldn't stand the smell on me, so I eventually decluttered that fragrance. This has parts of Attrap Revs, and what I mean by that is it has that patchouli, it has that rose combo, and it kind of reminds me of it in that sense. But the difference is it doesn't have that cacao, and that was the breaking point for me with that fragrance. The mixture of the cacao with the rose and the patchouli just did not work for me. I think it's a nice fragrance, it just didn't work for me. And this has that mixture, as I said, of the patchouli and the rose, but combined with these other notes, the blackcurrant, the peach, it works. I don't get the cinnamon, as I said, and I also don't get coconut milk. This doesn't smell creamy or lactonic in a way. I also don't get any coconut at all whatsoever. Just the mixture of the fruits with the patchouli and the rose is what I get, and this has an alluring quality to it. This is one of those scents that at first sniff, it doesn't smell that great, but when you wear it, it's a different experience, and it leaves an undeniable and intoxicating scent trail. I think this is a great release from Louis Vuitton. I really do like this fragrance. And I also want to say that this was a women's release, but honestly, I feel like it's unisex. This can definitely be worn by a man. So if you're a man and you're watching this, let me know what are your thoughts if you tested it. Do you like it? Women, do you like this as well? I want to know everyone's opinion. But I think this is definitely unisex 100%. A man can definitely pull this off. This is a really great release. Again, this one is Louis Vuitton eLVes. So this next fragrance, the girls have been ranting and raving about this. This one has been getting a lot of hype on TikTok, on YouTube. I've been seeing a lot of great reviews about this fragrance, so I had to test it for myself. And this is Better World Fragrance House Summer Mink. And this is Drake's fragrance, apparently. So, popped into Ulta to smell it. The tester was empty. I was a little annoyed. Spoke to an associate. Hey, can you guys put out another tester and they couldn't. I don't know why. So I picked up a travel spray. Now, I like this fragrance, but it reminded me of something. And what it reminded me of, I kind of don't want to say it because some may not agree, but I'm going to say it. It reminds me of Clive Christian X for women, minus the fruits. This smells like the dry down of that fragrance. This is that fragrance, as I said, minus the peach and rhubarb. Add a heavy dose of musk and add some vanilla. That's what I get from this fragrance. I think it's really nice. Do I think it deserves all of the hype it has been getting? I don't know. I'm not in love. I do really like this. I'll use this travel spray in no time. I think this is something that is an easy reach. This ultimately smells like a musky fragrance with a nice creamy vanilla and the tiniest hint of rose. That's what I get. But I also get an earthiness, and that's what reminds me of X for Women by Clive Christian. That earthiness from that patchouli. I get that in here, but this doesn't have patchouli. It has petitgrain. That might be what gives me that feeling. But I think it's a nice fragrance, honestly. As I said, it reminds me of a Clive Christian fragrance, which means if it was bottled in a Clive Christian bottle, this would be very pricey. So the quality, the scent that you get versus the cost is amazing. This travel spray is $37, but a full bottle, I believe, starts at $84. I don't know if it's 50 mil, 30 mil, 100 mil, but I know that the first size starts at $84. It's a pretty good deal for what you're getting. It's not groundbreaking, so don't expect to be like wowed. But there are some people who are saying like this, they're wowed. I do think it's a pretty impressive scent for the cost. I'm not in love with it. I do really like it. I would give this a 6 out of 10. It's a nice fragrance. Do I need a full bottle? Not necessarily, but I'm going to enjoy this travel spray and I'm definitely going to use this up in no time. Again, this one is Better World Fragrance House Summer Mink in collaboration with Drake, I'm guessing. Next up, I picked this decant up from Scent Split, and this is Narcotica Limonata. So this one has also been getting a lot of hype. This was released a few months ago. I like this a lot. I really enjoyed wearing this. I gave this a full wear and it lasted the entire day for me. This lasted about 6 to 8 hours, I want to say. This is fresh, but it has a creaminess to it. It's citrusy with the tiniest hint of spice. What I'm getting from this is, as I said, citruses. I don't know. Is it lime? Is it lemon? I don't know. But it's not very sharp. It has a creaminess. This may have vanilla that's mellowing out the citruses and like a gingery spice, but it's not a heavy ginger spice. It doesn't lean masculine. Sometimes ginger notes can lean masculine, but I think this scent overall is a unisex scent. It's very nice. I think this will be great for the spring and the summer, and this will shine even more in the summer in high heat. But this wears very well. This on Fragrantica is compared to Louis Vuitton Symphony. I disagree. I'm guessing people just threw that up there because these fragrances have similar notes, but no. Symphony is more of a fresh, citrusy spice, and this one has that creaminess in it. It's a different wearing experience. Two different fragrances. I don't think they compare. Definitely different. But this is really nice. I'm not in love with it. I don't need a full bottle, but I think this will be great for someone who likes citrusy, sort of creamy type of scents. I don't feel the need to own this, but it's a very nice fragrance, and I didn't give you guys the fragrance notes, so let me break that down. In the top notes, this fragrance has red currant, grapefruit, ginger, and pink pepper. In the middle notes, mango, marine notes, fig, ambroxan, and elemi. And in the base notes, amber, moss, musk, and cedarwood. Seeing those notes, the note breakdown, I just knew this was gonna be a 10 out of 10 for me, and it's not. I would give this a 6 out of 10 for me personally. There are some people who absolutely love this, but they're just not in love with this scent. But I do get, as I said, the citrusy touch to the fragrance. It's actually grapefruit. I was thinking lemon lime, but no, it's grapefruit. That ginger definitely stands out to me. This does have a spice, but it also has pink pepper. And it has the creaminess, which I'm guessing comes from the elemi in combination with the mango. This doesn't smell like fruity to me. I don't really get fig. but I do get those marine notes. It has a salty touch to it. This is a really, really nice fragrance. I think you should definitely get your nose on it if you like fresh scents. That might be slightly different because honestly, this isn't your average fresh scent. I don't know, maybe something will change for me, but I have given this a couple of wears and I don't see the need to own a full bottle, so this one isn't full bottle worthy for me. But tell me, if you've tried this fragrance, is it full bottle worthy for you? Again, this one is Narcotica Limonata. This next fragrance I have here is Sospiro Cavatina, and this was also released in 2025. This one has notes of pomegranate, sorbet, blackcurrant, pink pepper, mandarin, apple, magnolia, jasmine, rose, freesia, white musk, grenadine, and ambroxan. This has a lot of notes, but this smells pretty basic to me. This smells like a fruity rose scent. It's not special. It's just a everyday pretty girl, easy reach type of fragrance. I'm not really impressed by this scent. It doesn't smell very niche. It kind of smells sort of designer. Like this is something that I feel like you can find at Ulta or Sephora. But this will definitely be a compliment getter because it's a pretty fragrance as I said. I just don't think it's not a big deal to me. Do I get all of the notes? No. I ultimately just get a lot of rose, but it's not a dense rose. It's a soft like pink rose, I want to say. I'm getting the fruitiness from the pomegranate, and I don't see how sorbet can be incorporated into a fragrance, but I do get a sorbet feel. Yeah, I don't have much to say about this fragrance. This is something I would pass on because although it's a pretty fragrance, it's not special. It's not full bottle worthy to me. Some may love this. It's not really unique. Yeah, I'm gonna pass on this one. Again, this one is Sospiro Cavatina. This next fragrance here is Sunset Over the Brownstone by Uptown Perfumery. So this fragrance I discovered on TikTok. Bethany Frankel was raving about this fragrance. And reading through her comments, people were saying, Bethany, you always recommend the best scents. So I said, okay, she may be onto something here. Let me try this out. I found it at Scent Split. All I get is rose. That's it, rose. And not just the petals, the entire rose. This has the leaves, this has the stem. That's it. I'm getting a red rose, the entire rose in this fragrance, and nothing else. It smells tart and rosy. I can't give you guys anything else. That's all I get. Yeah, I was expecting to fall in love the way she described this scent. I don't remember her exact words, but I was so impressed and intrigued. So I had to test this for myself, and someone will definitely love this. If you want a fragrance that smells purely like rose and nothing else, this is the one. This is Sunset Over the Brownstone by Uptown Perfumery, and the notes doesn't really list rose on ScentSplit. It only had 3 notes. I found the notes on the company's website. So the notes here are so the fragrance family is fruity and green. So I was right about the greenness. And the fragrance notes are red currant, black currant, green foliage, and physalis. I have no idea what physalis is. Let's look it up. So physalis is gooseberry. This doesn't smell fruity. It just smells green. I don't really get fruits. I'm guessing the tartness may come from the blackcurrant. I don't know, but yeah. I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 10. Not that it's a bad fragrance. It's just not for me. But there are many people who will definitely love this if you like rosy scents, because that's what I get from this fragrance. Just rose, nothing else. Again, this one is Sunset Over the Brownstone by Uptown Perfumery. Okay, your girl is out of skin, so we're gonna do a tester strip this round. This next fragrance I'm gonna discuss is Juanillo by Adamo Parfum. So this is a 2024 release that I've been stalking. The notes just were intriguing to me, so I've been stalking this fragrance, and then I finally gave in and got a decant because honestly, I wanted to purchase a full bottle as a blind buy, and I am so happy I did not. In the top notes, it says orange, mandarin, lemon. And in the middle notes, it says pistachio, coconut, and dates. In the base, this has ambroxan, musk, and praline. Doesn't that sound amazing? So what I was expecting was something coconutty and fresh and airy. It has that ambroxan, it has the praline. So it would have like the tiniest hint of gourmand. On the tester strip, this smells like airy. On my skin, this smells very dense, very warm, very heavy, This smells like a cold weather fragrance on my skin. It smells spicy and very creamy, no freshness. And I would think with having mandarin and these citrus notes, lemon, that this would be fresh. I thought this would be airy. It has ambroxan. And no, this feels like a fall winter scent. This is not something I would wear in warm weather. This would be very cloying in warm weather. And this feels spicy. The notes are very misleading, and I'm not impressed by this fragrance at all. I'm not a fan. I don't even see myself reaching for this decant, honestly. It's not that I don't like the scent, it's just not the type of scent that I would go for. This sort of feels very gourmand. It's very rich, and it sort of is a bit powdery at the same time. Yeah, this didn't work out for me. It's a nice fragrance, it's just not what I expected. Again, this one is Juanillo by Adamo Parfums. Have you guys heard of this house? Have you tried any of their fragrances? What do you recommend if you've tried it? Now, have you tried this one, and what are your thoughts on this fragrance? This next fragrance caught me by surprise. This is not one that was on my radar. I had no idea about this fragrance. This was a freebie with a purchase, and I fell in love with the scent. This one is Fico de Almafi by Acqua de Palma. So, this is a fig scent. Thank you for sending me a fig scent because fig is one of my favorite notes and I fell in love with this. This is citrusy, it's very fresh, it has a nice touch of a green but slightly creamy fig. This is beautiful. This definitely feels like a vacation, a Mediterranean vacation. The sky is so clear, the water is so blue. Wow. I'm impressed. And not because this is mind blowing, but this is just the type of fresh scent that I go for. This is definitely unisex. Yeah, I am so happy to have received this. So the notes for this fragrance are grapefruit, bergamot, citron, and lemon. In the middle notes, fig nectar, jasmine, and pink pepper. And then the base notes, fig tree, cedar, and benzoin. This is such a good fresh scent. Longevity wise, I want to say about 4 to 6 hours on skin. It's pretty moderate. It's a fresh scent. You can't expect much. But it also has like a nice creaminess from the fig and the jasmine. This is gorgeous. I love this. I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Yeah. This one is Fico di Almafi by Acqua di Parma. Have you tried this fragrance? I only tried one other fragrance from this house and I really wasn't impressed, so I sort of like forgot about the house. But now I'm excited to try more from the house now that I've tested this one and I really do enjoy this scent. So that concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed me sampling this fragrance and giving you guys my honest thoughts and opinions. If you love any of these fragrances, please don't be offended by my thoughts and my opinions. It's just fragrance and we all perceive them differently. We all smell things differently. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy my content, if this is your first time here, if you've been viewing for a while and you have not yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. I thank you and appreciate you if you have made it this far. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.